In a world where fame often masks the true emotions of those in the spotlight, there are moments that transcend performance, surpass staged perfection, and cut straight into the soul. One such moment occurred between two of China's most beloved stars, Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo. A moment so honest and heartfelt that it moved not only one man to tears, but stirred a wave of emotion across the globe. This is the story of a silent confession, of unspoken love and unwavering connection, told not through grand gestures, but through eyes brimming with unexpressed words. It's a story where Xiao Zhan, with quiet bravery, allowed his heart to speak, and Wang Yibo, ever the composed and collected soul, found himself unable to hold back the tears. Let's dive deep into the soul of this moment and uncover the power it holds. Since the worldwide success of the Untamed, Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo have been seen as more than just co-stars. Their on-screen chemistry as Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji became the foundation for a friendship that many fans believe runs far deeper than what the public eye can see. Off-screen, they rarely make dramatic declarations. There are no exaggerated displays of affection. Instead, their connection is built on unspoken understanding, a glance, a nod, a shared smile. In the often chaotic world of celebrity, such a subtle, deep relationship is a rare and precious thing. During a private event with close staff and collaborators, Xiao Zhan was asked to reflect on the most meaningful person in his life during the filming of The Untamed. The room was quiet, expecting a diplomatic response, perhaps a mention of a director or crew member. But what followed was far more personal. Xiao Zhan paused, his gaze dropping for a moment. Then he spoke, not in a dramatic way, not to make headlines, but from the purest corner of his heart. There was someone who saw me when I was invisible, who stood by me even when the world turned away. He never said much, but he never had to. Everyone knew who he was talking about. His voice was calm, but his sincerity echoed in every corner of the room. Wang Yibo, always the picture of stoicism, sat across from him. His usual cool demeanor began to crack. For a moment, he tried to look away, to blink back the storm brewing in his eyes. But Xiao Zhan's words had pierced straight through the wall he had built around his emotions. As Xiao Zhan continued, saying, even in silence, his presence was louder than any voice. He gave me strength when I had none. A single tear rolled down Wang Yibo's cheek. That tear said more than 1,000 words. In that one breathtaking moment, every wall fell. Yibo didn't try to hide it. He didn't walk away or force a smile. He just let himself feel. Fully, openly. It was raw, it was real, and it was unforgettable. What kind of love exists between Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo? That's a question that fans have debated endlessly. Some call it brotherhood, others whisper it's something deeper. But perhaps the most beautiful truth is this: their bond doesn't need a label. Love isn't always romantic. Sometimes it's knowing someone so deeply that words become unnecessary. Sometimes it's sitting in silence, yet feeling more understood than ever before. What they share is rare, tender, and powerful. Their story reminds us that real connection doesn't scream for attention. It speaks in the quietest moments, when the cameras are off and only the heart can hear. Xiao Zhan's strength lies in his silence. In a world addicted to noise, he leads a quiet revolution, one of authenticity and depth. He doesn't rush to prove himself. Instead, he lets his actions, his integrity, and his unwavering loyalty speak for him. That night, when he spoke from the heart, he reminded us all that words aren't always needed to express love. Sometimes a look, a tear, and the courage to be vulnerable say everything. His confession wasn't loud, but it was powerful enough to shake even Wang Yibo, his ever-stoic counterpart, to the core. News of the emotional moment spread like wildfire among fans. Videos, fan art, emotional tweets, all flooded the internet. Hashtags like hashtag Xiao Zhan Heartfelt Confession and hashtag Wang Yibo Tears quickly topped trends across platforms. What stood out was how united fans became, not just in their support for their favorite stars, but in the shared understanding that this was no ordinary interaction. It was a moment of healing, of truth, of silent bravery. Many fans commented, "This is why we love them, not just for their roles, but for their humanity." In a time when many are struggling with loneliness, emotional suppression, and the fear of being seen, the story of Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo gives hope. It teaches us that it's okay to feel. It's okay to cry. And above all, it's okay to love without needing to define it. Their relationship, whatever name we give it, is a symbol of emotional truth. It tells us that the most powerful revolutions begin not with anger, but with vulnerability. Though neither Xiao Zhan nor Wang Yibo may ever put a label on what they share, their fans continue to write that love story for them, in songs, in stories, in every thank you whispered across oceans. And maybe that's enough. Maybe some love stories are best told in silence. Because in the end, it's not about what they say. It's about what they show, and they've shown us that real connection doesn't need to be loud to be life-changing. Long after the lights dim and the applause fades, fans will remember this moment. Not for the tears alone, but for the truth behind them. A silent confession. A single tear. A connection so strong it transcended words. Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo reminded the world that vulnerability is not weakness, it's strength. And that sometimes the most powerful love stories are the ones spoken not with words, but with the heart. While that emotional moment between Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo made waves publicly, it was only the tip of the iceberg. Behind the scenes, their journey had been paved with trials, growth, and moments of quiet support. During the shooting of the Untamed, both actors were facing personal and professional pressure. Yet through it all, they remained each other's silent anchors. When Wang Yibo sprained his ankle on set during a physically demanding scene, Xiao Zhan was the first to rush to his side, not with panic, but with calm concern. He knelt down beside Yibo, holding his shoulder, whispering, "You don't have to prove anything. You've already done more than enough." Those words weren't captured on any broadcast, but the staff who witnessed them never forgot. It wasn't just about caring in a general sense, it was about knowing exactly what the other needed without asking. After the controversies surrounding Xiao Zhan in early 2020, the entertainment industry saw a different side of him. Many stepped back, but Wang Yibo never publicly condemned or distanced himself. In fact, subtle support could still be seen. Liking older posts, showing up at events with items fans believed to be shared couple items, or simply staying silent when speaking out would have made him look like a hero. Xiao Zhan, on the other hand, kept his head down and focused on rebuilding. But even in his most silent days, fans noticed a shift in his aura when Wang Yibo was near. At one music awards event, when they briefly appeared on the same stage, a single glance exchanged between them sent social media into frenzy. In that look, there was understanding, history, and a whisper of reassurance. "I'm still here." Though known for his aloof and cool image, Wang Yibo has always had a fiercely loyal side, especially when it comes to those he considers close. For Xiao Zhan, Yibo often became a silent guardian. On one occasion, when Xiao Zhan was surrounded by a crowd of reporters asking invasive questions, Yibo subtly stepped in, placing himself in front of Xiao Zhan and diverting attention. There was no big gesture, no dramatic speech, just a quiet action that said, "I've got you." His loyalty wasn't performative, it was instinctive. And perhaps that's why the emotional breakdown during Xiao Zhan's heartfelt moment hit so hard. It wasn't just about what was said, it was everything they had shared in the quiet spaces in between. After Xiao Zhan's confession, those close to the pair noticed a subtle change. There was a newfound lightness in Yibo, a kind of emotional release he had long suppressed. For someone as guarded as him, crying in public wasn't just rare, it was transformative. He later admitted in a rare interview, "Some people give you strength by simply being themselves." That's not something you come across often. Though he didn't mention Xiao Zhan by name, fans knew exactly who he was talking about. That moment of healing wasn't just for Wang Yibo. It resonated with millions of fans who also learned that it's okay to break down, to feel, and to let others in. What's most fascinating about the Xiao Zhan, Wang Yibo dynamic is their ability to communicate without words. On variety shows, They often responded to questions with mirrored expressions, knowing smiles, or subtle gestures. Fans coined terms like eye language and soul talk to describe their exchanges. While others played for the cameras, these two existed in their own orbit, their connection built on trust and mutual understanding. There's something incredibly powerful about two people who don't need to explain themselves because they already know. Rumors have long circulated among fans that both stars kept journals during the filming of The Untamed. Some even believe there were unsent letters, written during difficult times, addressed to one another but never shared. Though unconfirmed, the thought adds a poetic layer to their story. Two men who carried unspoken emotions in their hearts, choosing instead to protect and honor their bond in silence. It mirrors countless real-life connections, where love, gratitude, and pain live within the lines never said, the pages never turned. One of the most remarkable things about this story is how it redefined emotional expression for male celebrities in China. Xiao Zhan's emotional vulnerability, paired with Wang Yibo's visible reaction, shattered the traditional stoic mold often expected of men in the spotlight. Instead of mockery or backlash, fans praised them. "They are brave enough to feel," one fan wrote. "That's more masculine than any flexing of muscle." Their relationship, whether you call it friendship, soulmates, or something more, showed the world that men can cry, care, and love deeply without shame. The emotional honesty between Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo created a ripple effect that extended into their fandoms. What began as admiration for two talented actors evolved into a shared space of healing, creativity, and mutual support. Fan accounts turned into communities. Strangers became friends, then family, bonded by the silent language these two stars had modeled for them. Many fans credit them for helping them through hard times, teaching them how to embrace their emotions, and showing them that deep connections do exist, even in a chaotic, digital world. No one knows what the future holds for Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo. Will they work together again? Will they ever publicly talk about that moment of tears? Maybe. Maybe not. But perhaps the beauty of their connection lies in its uncertainty. It allows each fan to find their own meaning, their own healing, their own version of silent love. And maybe the most honest love story isn't the one with the perfect ending. It's the one that simply is. Messy, beautiful, quiet, and real. As we revisit this now legendary moment, when Xiao Zhan's gentle honesty cracked Wang Yibo's composure, we're reminded of something deeply human. We all need someone who sees us when the world doesn't. Someone who doesn't ask for explanations because they already understand. Someone who, with just a few heartfelt words, can break down every wall we've ever built around our hearts. In Xiao Zhan, Wang Yibo found that person. And through them, maybe we've found a little bit of hope too. Thank you for taking the time to explore this emotional and powerful journey with us. If this story moved you, inspired you, or helped you believe in the quiet strength of true connection, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more emotional deep dives, stories of real love, and heartfelt inspiration. Like, share, and leave a comment below. What did you feel while reading this story? Do you believe in love that doesn't need words? Have Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo's journey impacted you in any way? Let's continue this conversation in the comments. Your voice matters. Until next time, remember, the most powerful stories are the ones written in silence.